Thank you. Please have your seats.
So we are here.
Saying thanks to the leadership of the bar for giving me this platform to speak to you. The invitation has said in an address, or I come to talk to you. I see the theme and I started to write. But a lot is happening, and my initial thinking as I wrote was to avoid what's happening. Do not say anything about what's happening and just stick to the theme. But over the last 2 days, the bar itself has become drawn into what is happening. And as an elder of this country, as someone who has practiced law since May 6, 1986, that's what, 39 years, I think I cannot ignore what is happening in our country, especially as regards the bar. The opinion of the Supreme Court, for me, the Supreme Court has spoken. There are persons who like the opinion, there are other persons who do not like the opinion. But Mr. President and members of this distinguished profession, I say there's a reason why the Constitution of Liberia guarantees the protection of lawyers, the practice of law in this country. There's a reason. There's a reason why the Constitution says that the offices, the papers, the physical being of a lawyer, you will not be penalized. Your privacy will not be violated. The Constitution protects the practice of law in this country, and it is the only profession that has a constitutional guarantees of protection. Lawyers have a right to protect the Constitution itself. The Constitution cannot speak for itself. So it's the legal profession that will actualize, that will advocate for those protections, those guardrails that the Constitution has to ensure that our country is a democratic society, that the rights of the ordinary man in Bougainville, in Glofaken, in Vonjema will be protected. And the mouthpiece for those persons, the mouthpiece is the practice of law. It's the practice of law. But today I say there's another reason. The framers of the Constitution realize that to practice law or to be a lawyer, to be admitted to the bar, and you take an oath, you also, both on the bench as judges and both in the bar as practicing lawyers, you're also a leader. You are also a leader. The entire bar is an institution of leadership. Institution of leadership. What are some of the attributes of a lawyer? What are some of the attributes of a leader? Especially in our country that is now pushing 200 years as a republic. A country that has a lot of trauma in the last 40, 50 years. What happened before the bloodletting and the injustice? It found itself in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. So what do we have today? We have a youthful population that is that is in need of role models, in need of mentors. They're searching, and the serious part is they are parents, so they themselves don't know. They haven't experienced what a stable country should be, what that life is by stages. They don't know it. And now they have children that God has entrusted to them. God has made them trustees of His creation. So they don't have anything to pass on. So now, we who are lawyers, so highly trained to be able to weigh things and not only consider today, to look down the road, to look behind, look left, look right. Mr. President and members of this distinguished institution, we have to be careful. We have to be sober. We have to be deliberate. We have to be intentional as we guard this process. This country that is like a boat on a raging sea, floundering, no guidance. Strike me, they don't even have a sail. We don't have a sail. And we should weigh situations. The opinion of the Supreme Court has spoken. And for me personally, where the whole matter was politics. Clear politics. And to step in that realm, you're stepping into a minefield. You're stepping into a minefield. So, the bar, us lawyers, all of us, as we advise our clients, we cannot advise our clients to disrespect the Supreme Court. We cannot. Whether or not we like the opinion, whether or not we believe that the opinion is unwise, it didn't include all the facts of the Supreme, well, however it is, the Supreme Court and the judiciary, that's our country there. We got to dress it. We cannot undress it. Politics is transient. Today politics is this way, tomorrow it flows another way like a flood. So to step into politics, the most you can do is to, if the client is one of the actors, you guide your clients. You guide your clients. You don't tell your client disobey or disrespect or reject. You don't. If you're a politician, you can guide your client with the law. And to guide your client to gingerly walk and solve the problem politically. The Supreme Court itself said that they will not get involved in politics. So that's a cue to all of us. That's a cue to all of us. Politically, you know what you have to do. If you're not able to do it, then that's it. Then you know what to do. If you don't have the political clout, if you don't have the political savvy to solve your problems, then you know what you have to do. You have to admit, I don't have it. And no lawyer. Because we, in our code, I hope, in our code, I think it's either number 1 or number 2, that no lawyer will do anything to undermine the integrity of the court. And I tell you, sometimes when you leave it comes back to you. Let me tell you a secret. When we had commission as Chief Justice and Associate Justices, during that time, 1997, and I'm sure all of us know that the environment, very volatile. Warrior faction leaders, who have various following. We sat as a court, the 5 of us, and we determined how, under these circumstances, how can we protect as much as we could the independence of the judiciary. And we discussed, and we made a conscious decision. We not grant any dispensation for anybody to become a lawyer. None. So to make sure there were no cracks, there was no hole, there was no loophole for that to happen, for anybody to make a request for us to grant somebody dispensation who never went to law school. to become a lawyer or to hold a position in government that requires legal training. We said, even judges will take the test. And some of them are still alive. Judge Comfort had to take the test. Judge Conto took the test. There were so many others. In my own, I can't remember all the names. But there was no dispensation. So the whole while we sat on the bench, as much as possible, that didn't happen. So in a way, we try to protect our independence under the circumstances. So I'm bringing that story to say that the bar must be conscious of the circumstances, of the context. Be conscious of the context within which you operate as leadership of the bar. You are expected to play a role. I'm not saying that you should be inhibited in performing your role. No. I'm saying you know when to say what. You should know when to say what and thank you and where. The matter has passed the legal stage. The matter is now within the one political process. Maybe the man should have spoken a long time ago. Because when I saw the flames coming from the Capitol building, something happened to me. Something happened to me. I mean, maybe I can describe it to say chill bumps on my skin. What kind of political controversy will reach to the point such a symbolic building that somebody or somebodies will form the concept and the idea to set it ablaze, and not only form it, to execute it. Something is wrong. And it's severe. Something is deeply, deeply, deeply wrong. And that's why we should understand as lawyers that there's a reason why the Constitution protects us. There's a reason. And we shouldn't let the Constitution down. Because when this thing happened, after the president spoke, I think I saw something where the president for the Monserrado County Bar and the Elders Council spoke. What are we doing? We are diminishing the bar. We are diminishing the bar. So, and look, I must commend the bar for bringing young people, students here. Because of them, we have to do right. Because of them, we have to walk gingerly so that they will know that there's an institution in this country that will bring them hope, that they will want to be lawyers and follow our footsteps. When I was in politics, I learned something in my villages in Maryland. They said, in my broken cripple, say you all now in this age group, you're no book. You all are the Bolipo. I seen it right here. You all are the elders. We call it Bolipo. I was going to the Senate, they say Bolipo Kabi, the house of the elders. I bring it to the lawyers, you all are elders. It's not enough to make money. And I will confess, we do make money. But that money we make, it has to be within a context. So if it's just, oh, I was in the papers, oh, I had press conference. When everything breaks down, everything you accumulated, in fact, the lawyers, they first to feel the heat of the chaos, because you can't go to court, you can't file paper, there's no client, the clients are running. I lived here long enough where I've seen presidents of the bar riding a bus to feed a family. Running from red light from red light to Freeport. I know for myself, I walk from here to Bopolu, I walk to come back. So when we have something to protect. So, Mr. President, and distinguished members of the bench and bar, let's consult. Let's consult. Let's consult. Let us be sober. Let us be reflective. Let us look behind and let us look ahead. So thank you for my lamentation and calling as an old lady. To the task that you assigned me,